Okay, welcome back. It's August 11th, as you can see right there. Um, this is me getting back to the visionary outlooks of the Hush Wife, which is my book that I'm releasing in November of this year in 2018 on the anniversary date of my marriage, because this is a testimony, a spiritual outlook testimony of dealing with domestic violence when marrying young. And it's not so much of a bashing outlook, it's more so of a outlook to get the right help or the right channel, or the right advice with dealing with these things, because you can go through counseling, you can go through conversations, you can go through resources, and they just don't provide you any structured outlooks, because I don't think some people can really relate to what you're experiencing because they're only resources, so, or they haven't experienced it in the avenue you have. So as I go forward, right now we're on 6. I have titled 6 as God in this. God, like I mentioned before, with the why me, the what now, the victims, and this is just a little brief outlook of saying that God is still in control of everything, even though sometimes it doesn't feel that way. And a lot of people lose their faith in that, and they don't feel like there's an answer to anything, and you're stuck. You're stuck in that that gray red zone, as I mentioned, in one that really truly exists, because I am in it, in the middle of it right now. I mean, hopefully the end of it, but I'm really in it. And with going through it, I know that it's not God's fault that I'm going through it, and I do have a level of faith that nothing's going to happen beyond what should happen. But at the same time, we have these factors called common sense, consciousness, intuition, that are outside of our faith, that we have to focus on when we're going through these levels of these channels that we are struggling through when going through domestic violence and finding safety, staying safe, and maintaining safety. But when the systems in the world of ways and the laws aren't really there to protect you, and you're really stuck to handle matters on your own, that's where a lot of faith is challenged. Because in the end, and at the end, meaning the end of the day, and sometimes you wake up this way, you really feel alone, because if it was with the person committing the domestic violence against you, whether like it's physical, mental, etc., or if it's not against you, maybe it's against your kids, or if it's, whatever avenue or wherever it is, and it's in existence, don't think that it's not real to the point, and please don't think that you have to give up to go back to that person, because it's really hard to do everything on your own, and where the answer is much easier to say, okay, I'm just going to go back and just deal with it and do what I have to do. But it's not a good choice to go off of, because it could get worse and worse and worse and worse, which it has. I've seen it. I've seen it get worse because I tried that avenue, and I know you're tired of me saying I tried it and been there and done that, and but it's the truth. I mean, I stepped out of it, did what I had to do, and then I thought it was better, and then it really, oh my God, it wasn't better at all, because the way it outburst was, he got stuck trying to be that representative and whoever he isn't, and then he just had an outburst one day out of anger. which is totally possible. However, those outbursts are what you should be afraid of, because and what you're trying to prevent, and what you're trying to protect yourself from, and what you're trying to be safe. And because those outbursts are extremely dangerous, because they don't have the right mental state, or maybe they do, but they get away with it, or gotten away with it so much in the past that it's numb to them. It's not even a reality. Okay, but the whole point of this segment is God is really still in it. God has your back, believe it or not, and you have to try and look for it through reading, through meditating, through praying, for guidance. And a lot of people think that, oh, I prayed, and I prayed. But what did you pray for? How did you pray for it? What angle of prayer did you utilize? Because a lot of people pray, oh, do something to him, and oh, do something to this, and fix this and do that. When the true prayer is for peace. The true prayer is for guided steps. The true prayer are for your children, if you have them, and for that person. That's the true prayer. That's what you should be praying about. God, please protect him. Please help him have the right mindset. Please guide him to do what he needs to do, to be in your order and in your ways, and have the heart that you desire that person to have and to overcome. As well as you should be praying for yourself, to the point where, God, please help me to maintain the right mindset, order my steps, order my way of my way of thinking, and how to deal with these certain things, that when the negativity pops into my head, give me the right thoughts to overcome those. Pray for your children's mindsets, their outlooks, what they're dealing with, and that you still have the strength and the positioning where you can still guide them to the degree where they don't become reckless from your leadership as their parent, So those are things and ways you should be praying, versus do something to him. God, why am I? Pray for your heart. Pray for your mind. Those are important. And how you pray for them with a clean heart and a clean mind is imperative as well. And forgiveness has to take place. I can't reiterate on that enough. But that's all I really have to say about this. You need to really get regrounded. And a lot of people say go to church, get a prayer group, go to a shelter. I don't know. But what works for me is my time in praising God when I get really negative and down. I play my gospel music, and I sing. And I have a few songs that I do sing that help me regroup myself and find me. And because I need that. And even with inside the ending stages of this marriage, when I was still with my husband, a lot of the things that I didn't agree with him, I prayed on. And I prayed to God that I was like, God, please give him the wisdom to understand this. Please give him the outlook to understand that. So, he can understand why I'm saying this, or my angle with that. I was like, God, please. I didn't cheat on my husband. I didn't stray away. I didn't involve anyone in our decisions. I really stayed grounded to the point where I would pray about anything that I felt was extremely concerning and a huge decision maker, regardless of how he thought about it and his mindset. So it's imperative that you go to God about these things, because God will eventually show you or guide you and pinpoint you, or put inside your heart and your mind certain things to help you develop the common sense or the intuitions and stuff like that you need in order to conquer you know. So I just say stay grounded and stand on your faith. And sometimes we have to be still, and we have to really look to God for certain things, not people. Okay, that's it. Peace, star.